Why smart people still get played, the archetypal blind spot. Most people think discernment is about being intuitive, observant, or good at reading vibes. That's a comforting lie. People don't misjudge others because they lack intuition. They misjudge because they don't understand patterns. This is where archetypes come in. Archetypes don't tell you who someone is. They tell you what role is operating and what that role always leads to. What an archetype is. Foundational definition. An archetype is a universal behavioral pattern, a recurring role that shows up across cultures, history, stories, and everyday life. It is not a personality. It is not a mood. It is a psychological role with predictable motivations and outcomes. Examples include the victim, the savior, the trickster, the tyrant, the seeker, the hermit. Personalities change. Archetypes repeat. That's why they're useful. Why archetypes matter for discernment. Discernment isn't about analyzing words. Words are cheap. Discernment is about recognizing roles. People deceive less through lies and more through positioning. Who needs rescuing? Who needs admiration? Who avoids responsibility? Who controls through help? Archetypes allow you to stop asking, what are they saying? And start asking, what role are they playing and what always comes next? Once you identify the role, the future becomes visible. Archetypes reveal motive before damage. Every archetype carries a core motive. For example, the victim archetype seeks relief without responsibility. The savior archetype seeks worth through rescue. The trickster archetype seeks advantage through confusion. When the motive is known, behavior becomes predictable. This means you don't need to wait and see. Waiting is how lessons repeat. Archetypes let you recognize patterns before emotional investment, not after emotional fallout. Archetypes neutralize manipulation. Manipulation works by hijacking emotion, guilt, sympathy, admiration, fear. Archetypal awareness bypasses emotion and reads structure. Gaslighting loses power when you recognize the same confusion pattern, the same deflection tactics, the same cycle repeating with different words. Once the role is visible, the performance collapses. Actors need an audience that believes the script. Self-discernment, the missing piece. Here's the part most people avoid. Archetypes don't just expose others, they expose you. Under stress, everyone defaults to a role: the fixer who overextends, the martyr who resents silently, the hermit who calls avoidance peace, the rebel who burns bridges and calls it freedom. If you don't recognize your own default archetype, you'll confuse repetition for destiny. Conclusion. The core insight. Life becomes confusing when events are viewed as isolated incidents. It becomes obvious when they're seen as recurring roles playing out cycles. Same dynamics, different faces, same endings. Discernment without archetypal awareness is intuition without a map. Archetypes don't make you judgmental, they make you precise. See the role. Predict the pattern, choose accordingly. That's not paranoia, that's clarity.